For generations, the standard for a successful farm has been defined by endless rows of commodity crops and massive acreage. When you operate on only a few acres, trying to compete with industrial agriculture on sheer volume leads directly to financial collapse and physical burnout. The agricultural landscape of 2026 favors a different strategy. Today's successful independent growers are carving out highly specific micro-niches, focusing on products that solve exact problems for targeted customers. Modern profitability shifts the focus away from total acreage and toward crop intelligence, prioritizing plants that maximize the value of every square foot rather than the total number of acres owned. Capturing true agricultural yield on a small scale requires moving away from traditional vegetables and specializing in high-value niche crops. Gross revenue is often a deceptive metric for a small farm.
A high top-line number is meaningless until you factor in the hidden costs of your daily labor, the time it takes to reach harvest, and the physical space you occupy. Small-scale growers must navigate a constant trade-off between capital velocity, how fast the crop converts into cash, and operational passivity, which is the amount of daily, hands-on work required to reach harvest. This chart maps space required against daily labor. Corn and soybeans sit in the high-space, high-labor zone, out of reach for microfarmers. Lucrative alternatives sit at the extremes. Microgreens occupy the low-space, high-labor quadrant. Garlic sits in the high-space, low-labor zone. Choosing one of these crops creates a rigid framework for your daily operational reality. Every seed you choose locks you into a specific set of labor requirements and lifestyle constraints. Microgreens are the ultimate capital velocity play, designed for rapid inventory turnover in dense urban environments. This explosive biological growth allows these tiny greens to reach maturity and commercial value in a fraction of the time required by standard crops. That speed translates to a 7 to 14-day harvest cycle. In practical terms, a 500 square foot indoor space can generate over $40,000 in annual net profit. Because they require so little land, controlled environment setups allow top growers to achieve profit margins between 50 and 80%. But the cost of that velocity is inescapable daily labor. Hydroponic and aeroponic systems require constant monitoring of lighting, water pH levels, and the meticulous sanitation of every cultivation tray. This chart breaks down the current retail microgreen market. A single corporate giant, AeroFarms, now controls approximately 70% of that retail space. This level of market concentration forces independent growers to hustle for direct restaurant sales or build specialized local subscription models to stay competitive. Microgreens offer the fastest cash flow in agriculture, but you are trading that speed for a highly perishable inventory that demands a constant, high-stress sales cycle. For growers with zero outdoor land, gourmet mushrooms like oysters and shiitakes act as the ultimate vertical space optimizers. They offer an extreme yield-to-space ratio. By utilizing vertical shelving, a single square foot of floor space can produce up to 30 pounds of fungi every year. Mushrooms do not require traditional garden beds. Instead, they fruit outward from dense substrate blocks, allowing for massive production in compact indoor rooms. This process allows you to cultivate mushrooms on cheap, recycled waste substrates, like straw or spent coffee grounds. A substrate is the material or surface on which the mushroom grows and from which it derives its nutrients. The primary drawback is the environment. Fungi demand strict, lab-grade atmospheric controls, forcing the grower to regulate humidity, temperature, and airflow 24 hours a day. A single error in that environment invites catastrophic biological contamination. An outbreak of competing mold can ruin an entire grow room, wiping out weeks of potential revenue. Mushrooms masterfully convert empty vertical space into premium revenue, but only if you are willing to manage a sterile and unforgiving indoor facility. If you possess outdoor acreage, heirloom garlic is a low-maintenance, high-reward alternative. A single acre can yield up to $80,000 in revenue, with organic profit margins sitting between 25 and 40%. Garlic relies on a rugged biology. After harvest, the bulbs undergo a curing process that hardens their outer skins and dries the roots for storage. This resilience is a major operational advantage. Garlic stores perfectly at room temperature, which eliminates the spoilage panic that typically plagues fresh greens and mushrooms. The trade-off is time. Garlic requires a 9-month growth cycle that locks up your acreage and severely delays your return on investment.
This chart maps out that timeline. To properly form bulbs, the crop requires vernalization. Vernalization is a mandatory cold weather exposure period, where the plant must sit in temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 8 weeks. This biological requirement for deep cold restricts commercial outdoor garlic operations to cooler climates with distinct winter seasons. Garlic acts as the ultimate passive income crop. You are trading slow capital velocity for a level of operational peace of mind that other high-value crops cannot match. Ultimately, there is no universal best crop. The only metric that matters is which plant biologically aligns with your specific bottlenecks of time, space, and capital. To audit your resources, follow this decision matrix. It begins with the fundamental question: do you have outdoor acreage? If you follow the no branch, you must ask if you have significant daily time. If you do, microgreens and mushrooms are the clear winners. This path defines the urban optimizer, trading daily labor and strict environmental management for high capital velocity in minimal space. Following the yes branch, if you have land, do you need cash in 30 days or 9 months? If you can wait, garlic is superior. This is the patient homesteader profile. This grower uses their land to trade immediate revenue for a low-maintenance harvest that won't rot if it isn't sold by Tuesday. Ignore the hype of blanket revenue promises. Ruthlessly audit your available time and space, and choose the operational reality you actually want to live with.